Alrighty, this video is for Luke Coffey. Mr. Coffey. This was kind of what I was trying to describe on the phone with you today. I was hired to do a few jobs. I use our custom cabinet guy to do cabinetry. There's a lot of great things about our custom cabinet guy, and there's a lot of not as great things about our custom cabinet guy. Our custom cabinet guy, some of the reasons I maybe wouldn't use him for, so I got some of my chin. One of the reasons I maybe wouldn't use him for property management companies in the future is it's hard to tell what you're going to get, and he takes X amount of time. He takes a little bit longer. His lead time is 4 to 6 weeks. There's a place called Cabinets to Go, and here's an estimate that I got from Cabinets to Go for a kitchen that I'm about to show and describe to you. Cabinets to Go's lead time, if you put in the order for their stock cabinets, which just means out of the box cabinets, they're not customizable, but they have a lot of sizes and a lot of options. Their lead time for that is 2 weeks. So it's a more predictable, it's more predictable than custom cabinets. In the future, I think I'm going to use out-of-the-box cabinets for property management companies. I'm not positive about that, but I think that's what I'm going to do in the future. This is what I did. I have a little design program that I design kitchens on, and I developed shop drawings for this little kitchen. There's the little kitchen layout. There's a pantry over there on the far side. It's hard to tell what lefts and rights are with this flipped camera. But then there's a sink. And then on the other side of the kitchen, there is this right here. This is the other side. There's a stove is over there. There's a space for the fridge. There's another pantry, little area over there. The pantry on the sink side, I believe it was on the sink side for this particular project. There's a water heater in there. But there's all this. I am not doing the appliances for them, but I could. It'd be very, very easy to do the appliances for them. You just buy the appliances and pick them up and put them in. So I could do all of that too. This is what I'm doing on this particular job. I measured the job. I have gone to the job a few times. I measured the job, I designed the cabinets, I remeasured the job to make sure that my drawings were good. They approved the drawings. I know that what I'm ordering is exactly what is going to work for that space. So that's the first part of the job. The second part of the job is the cabinets need to be built if it's custom cabinets. They need to be delivered if it's stock cabinets. And I'm going to get the cabinets and get them to the job. Once they're at the job, they need to be installed. I am not a cabinet installer. I don't really want to learn how to be a cabinet installer. It would be easier for you to figure out how to install cabinets than it would be for me to figure out how to install cabinets. That may or may not be true. I bet you we could both figure it out. It wouldn't be a huge deal. But installing cabinets, that's the part of this whole process that I personally don't really want to be involved in. I want to find the jobs and execute on the jobs. But if I wanted to install the cabinets too, I could totally do that and make good money doing this particular thing. So anyways, the next thing that needs to be done once the cabinets are delivered to the location is they need to be installed. My guy who does my custom cabinets, he gives me a price on what it's going to cost. He gives me a price on the construction and installation of custom cabinets. He just sends me a number and I say, okay. And then I put my percentage on that and I send it to the person that I'm doing this job for, that I'm doing the measurements for and coordinating the whole thing and making sure that cabinets end up in their apartment. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm putting in the countertops. So I'm calling a different sub and bringing them to the job site and making sure that they put in the countertops. I'm also making sure that they put a sink in, and then I'm going to call the plumber on this particular job, and I'm going to make sure that the plumber puts in the faucet and puts in the drain, and that's all I'm doing on this particular job. I could do more on this particular job, but I'm not doing more than just that. On the last job I did for this company, I did all the demo work, and then I moved the sink faucet. It was coming out of the wall, and I moved it so that it was going to come out of the countertop. And I called a plumber, and I had the plumber move it for me. But I coordinated the whole thing, and I marked up every person that I got on the job site. I marked them up a little bit, and that's where I made my money. I also made money on that job because I personally did the electrical work. I actually made a pretty good amount of money doing the electrical work. That's for a different video. Maybe that's a personal conversation you and I could have, because I'm planning on putting this video on YouTube and then sending it to you. And maybe I don't want to let everyone know. I'd be happy to let you know how much money I made on every little thing, but I don't need everyone to know how much money I made on every little individual thing. Anyways, back to this particular job. I'm getting the cabinets delivered. I'm getting the cabinets installed by somebody, and then I'm going to pick up the phone and call my countertop guy, and he's going to bring the countertops. He's going to cut everything out on site, and he's going to install the countertops. It's going to take him about 3 hours or less per job. And I've got 3 jobs that are all going to be done that same day. But anyways, that's basically what I'm doing on this project in particular. Now, my custom job, I'm just going to use arbitrary numbers. And I'm actually going to I'll use these specific numbers. John's number, my custom guy, he said about 6,500. That was his number. He told me about 6,500. This cabinets to go place gave me a quote for just the cabinets. They gave me a quote for 6,400. Let's just call it 6,400. John's quote was for installed cabinets. Cabinets to go's quote was for non-installed cabinets. Now, the reason I'd go with cabinets to go in the future is because they're faster. John is not quite as fast, and also an apartment doesn't necessarily need custom cabinets. They just need cabinets that are going to survive renters. So all wood cabinets would probably be best for the property management company. The particular company I'm working with, that's what they want. The trick is you got to figure out what is important to your customer. The things that are important to my current customer are speed and quality and price. Everyone cares about speed, quality, and price. They care the most about speed. They care the second most about quality. And price, they honestly care the least about, because if they can get it fast enough, it'll pay for itself. And it doesn't really matter. They haven't told me that, but that's me interpreting their business model. They want speed first. They want quality. They want it to be good enough. And then they care about price last, which is great for me because I can make things happen quickly and get paid more money because I made it happen quickly. Anyways, this is what I did. I went to a stock cabinet place, is what they're called. And the way that stock cabinets work is they sell cabinets in 3-inch increments. So they sell cabinets that are 9 inches and 12 inches and 15 inches and 18 inches. So you got to go into this place and you tell them what you generally need. And the lady sat there and she did this layout design for me. And it's basically, it's not the exact same as these are slightly different. I don't remember why they're slightly different. I can't remember. But she basically designed me a little kitchen. It kind of looks the exact same as the drawing that John gave me. So I could have sent this to my customer, and she would, or yeah, my customer would have told me, yes, that's great, I want that. An interesting thing about this particular Cabinets to Go, something interesting about them is they said, hey, site-wide, we've got a 25% discount right now. If you spend enough money at Cabinets to Go, you can get up to a 50% discount on cabinets from them whenever you order from them. If you become one of their vendors, you can get cabinets up to 50% cheaper. And you sell the cabinets back to whoever you're delivering them to for the full price, is basically one way to make money at doing this. Before you run your calculations, you mark the cabinets back up to what the full price would be, what the customer's price would be, and then you mark up from there because you are providing something better than they could order from the company. You are providing installation, you are providing coordination, and you're providing all that. So anyways, let's just say on this particular job, I can get cabinets from Cabinets to Go for $6,500. My countertops are going to be, they're going to be about $1,250. Let's just say that's how much my countertop guy is going to charge. $1,250. For simplicity's sake, let's just call it $1,200 because that the math's better on that. Okay, $1,200. What's the price there? 7,700. 7,700 bucks is how much you can, before you pay yourself, that's how much you can get that job done for. Let's just say you are going to personally install the cabinets and you're going to charge the customer 500 bucks to install their cabinets. That might be a little low, it might be a little high, but just let's say it's going to take you 10 hours. You're charging them for 10 hours at 50 bucks an hour. So you're going to charge them, and just so the math works better, I'm going to charge them, no, I'll charge them that much. So now you're up to 8,200 bucks. You're at 8,200 bucks is how much it's going to cost you to do this job. And that's just for cabinets and countertops. What you're then going to do is you are going to mark this up by some percentage. And what percentage do you mark it up by? That is up to you. This is, you haven't charged them for the work being done yet. Like, you haven't charged them yet. This is just, if you gave it to them for free, this is how much it costs, is 8,200 bucks for what we just described. And you get paid 500 bucks in that whole deal. And they get cabinets. And you are basically getting paid 500 bucks to give them cabinets. That's not good enough. What you need to now account for is how much money you want to make on this particular job. And the trick is you need it to be low enough that they will say yes, but not so low that they are going to overwhelm you with so much work and make you so busy and make you upset that you only get paid 500 bucks a job for how much work and effort you're putting into what you're doing for them. So it's a balance. It's a balance. They will only pay you so much. You can't charge them if it's costing you 8,200 bucks, you probably can't charge them 16 grand for this, but maybe you could. I'm not really sure. It depends on your customer. That's where the game part of this whole thing is. You're kind of trying to figure out how much you could sell this kitchen to this customer for. Maybe a good place to start is to think about marking it up 20 or 30 or 35, somewhere around there. And I don't have a calculator, I don't have a calculator. Hey, Caro?
Yeah.
Could you use your calculator for me for a quick sec?
Yeah.
Do you have that ability, or are you in the middle of something?
Yeah, you gotta hurry.
Okay. 82 times 1.35.
110.7.
Okay.
82 times what? 82 times.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That comes out to 11,070 bucks. And let's just call that 11,200. 11,200 is what that is. You could charge them 11,200. If we then think about it, if you then think about the next part of it, you basically made 3,000 bucks plus 500 bucks because you're paying yourself 500 bucks, but you didn't really make 500 bucks. You were owed 500 bucks from this. So really you're making $3,000 if you mark that up 20%. And to tell a customer it's going to be, yeah. Yes, baby. I might have to cut this and jump to the next part.